Coming up on St. George News at 5, a group of Southern Utah veterans return to the shooting range for a dose of camaraderie and target practice, something they've truly missed. Plus, a new French bakery is whipping up unique desserts and fresh-baked bread in Enterprise. That and a check on your weather straight ahead.
You're watching St. George News at 5, brought to you by our studio sponsor, We Win Injury Law.
Good afternoon, I'm Monica McLaughlin. A Southern Utah doctor is being honored for his work supporting sexual assault survivors and helping to build a vital forensic nursing team. Dr. Robert Foster says there are many others on the team who deserve the praise. Stockton Myers has more on the recognition and his legacy.
On June 19th, the International Association of Forensic Nurses awarded a Southern Utah emergency physician for his work in helping survivors of sexual assault, domestic abuse, and other forms of interpersonal trauma. Dr. Robert Foster has been working as a physician for over 20 years. In 2011, he became one of the founding members of Southwest Forensic Nursing and Healthcare, where he assists in providing proper care for victims of sexual assault and domestic abuse.
I think assault internationally is wrong, especially on women and children. I think everybody agrees with this, and I think we need to talk about it. I think we need to help the victim as much as we can, okay? And I think everybody agrees with that. And it's the only organization I've ever been in that everybody wants a tour. Everybody wants a tour. Yeah, Rob, what do you need? What do you need? What do you need? What can we do? And that's neat.
One of the other founding members, Camden Kefa, says Foster is a humble man who puts a lot of work into helping these victims, and this also includes his work as an emergency physician.
He would be one who would say he doesn't deserve this award. He would tell you that when in reality he has put a lot of time and effort into this. He's a very compassionate and empathetic individual, and he cares deeply that these individuals receive the care that they deserve and need.
Foster says the best way for residents to help victims of sexual assault is to donate to organizations like the Dove Center and Switchpoint.
Military veterans from the Southern Utah Veterans Home got the chance to return to the shooting range for camaraderie, fun, and a little target practice. For these former servicemen, it was more than just a day at the range. Eric George Gould shows us why they say they miss shooting.
5 veterans from the Southern Utah Veterans Home in Ivins got to relive old times and shared camaraderie on Tuesday morning at the Red Cliffs Rifle and Pistol Range in Hurricane. Former servicemen Hank Weber, George Crocker, Ted Cox, Glenn Kane, and Dennis Trimble got to step up, or in their case, sit down, to the firing line for some target practice with .22 caliber rifles. Joining all 5 shooters were range safety officers, all of them veterans also, who got to reach out to their comrades in a show of solidarity. Here's RSO and board president John Popke talking about how the event came together.
This event is so awesome to bring our vets. The guy who brought it to the board, I'm the president of Red Cliffs Rifle Pistol Range, and he brought it to the board named Bob Evans. And he said, hey, we got a bunch of vets that we would like to bring out and then have them shoot some guns and kind of enjoy the Second Amendment again. And the board said, absolutely. And this event has been awesome.
The 5 veterans from Ivins all came from different backgrounds and branches of the service, but they all agreed that it felt good to fire guns with their comrades. Here's 22-year Army veteran Ted Cox.
I joined the Army out of high school, January 70.
Joined out of high school, and did you do a lot of shooting then?
I went to basic training and we shot and shot and shot. I was so excited because I've been there 7 years and never saw on the calendar, that you could go out here. I feel great. These guys are pros.
Yeah. Looks like you were a pro too. It looks like you got quite a few hits in the middle.
Those are flyers, they call them.
Organizers hope to hold another Veterans Day shooting event with hopefully many more participants. With video by Dusty Allen, this is Eric George Gould.
Now we'll take a look at your daily weather forecast, brought to you by Casablanca Resort and Casino. In St. George, the current temperature is 96 degrees under cloudy skies, with tonight's low dipping to around 74. Tomorrow will be warmer. Expect a high near 98 with low again in the low 70s. Over in Mesquite, it is 102 degrees now, dropping to about 79 overnight. Tomorrow brings sunshine and breezy conditions with a high around 102 and a low near 77. Finally, Cedar City is currently cloudy at 81 degrees, cooling to 58 by morning. Tomorrow should be pleasant and sunny with a high of 84 and an overnight low near 56. Christensen Park in St. George is sporting a brand new playground, and city leaders and families recently celebrated the safer, more modern space for kids to play. Officials say it's about more than fun. It's about building community sanctuaries. Maury Kessler takes us there.
Christensen Park in Bloomington just got a major upgrade with brand new, safer playground equipment, replacing structures that were 30 years old. Made possible through the $29 million general obligation bond approved by voters 2 years ago. St. George City officials, residents, and families gathered Thursday morning to celebrate the park playground's grand reopening. Parks and Community Services Director Shane Moore called these spaces essential for community well-being and sanctuaries for families.
These parks are sanctuaries for young families, and these playgrounds are incredibly important to get a little bit of respite from your day-to-day grind. And so when we build a park, we really build it in the idea that we want people to be able to come out here, enjoy it, have the mental health recharge, and really just have a reset in their life.
Christensen Park also has personal significance for Mayor Michelle Randall and her family, which she shared at the event.
We've spent a lot of time here. My aunt and uncle donated the property, Bryce and Lisa Christensen, to have the park built. And so they just lived right across the street from where we are. And so we had a lot of family gatherings over here, birthday parties, different things like that. It was time for a facelift. It was time for an updo. And it's always been important in the city to have a park close by different neighborhoods that they can gather. Some people may live in a apartment that doesn't have a lot of amenities. They can take their kids to the park and let them run. And this park is really big. A lot of grass, a lot of places to run and play. And so it's important. I think it all goes back to quality of life.
To learn more, read the story.
A new French bakery is serving up bold flavors and creative confections in Enterprise, with handmade pastries and desserts drawing inspiration from family recipes and Parisian flair. From death by chocolate to alligator jaws, Jessie Bang takes us inside the Parisian Magpie.
Stephen Blanchard is the owner and baker behind the Parisian Magpie French Bakery, a new bakery that just opened its doors in Enterprise. Tucked in the back of the E-Town Trading Post in a spot known as the E-Town Mini Mall, the bakery serves up a variety of homemade treats from fresh baked breads and cookies to muffins, cakes, and more.
So these are called alligator jaws. It's like a glazed donut that you split in half and put, usually traditionally it's cherry frosting. But this time we did cherry and strawberry.
Blanchard grew up around his grandmother, who was known for making extravagant cakes. Even when he did other things, being a baker was always in the back of his mind. When asked what his favorite part about business ownership is, he said this:
the freedom to mix stuff and experiment and not just have like a set menu. Because if you work at restaurants and stuff, usually there's 10 things that you have to make day in and day out. And it's nice to kind of mix things up a little bit.
See the full article for more information on the Parisian Magpie French Bakery.
Thank you for watching St. George News at 5. To learn more about our studio sponsor, We Win Injury Law, go to wewininjurylaw.com. I'm Monica McLaughlin with St. George News, your #1 source for local news. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button for more local news updates. And if you liked this newscast, you might enjoy one of these stories right here.